Well, I gotta thank my son, even though he's not in this video. He hit the record button for me. As you know, he's missing, but um, I'm sure not a lot of you are thinking this way because I know he wasn't because I asked him before I made this video. That's why he's probably not in it. But guys, we should look at Jimmy Garoppolo signing or restructure deal, I should say, as a blessing. And I'll tell you why. We all know that Trey Lance. My eyes are watering. I'm sorry, guys. Very unprofessional. We all know Trey Lance went down the second game of the season. But if we did not rework Jimmy Garoppolo's deal, we let him walk or whatever. He was the backup quarterback then when the Lance goes down against the Seahawks that first game, week 2 of the season. It's Brock Purdy. Now, I think maybe the Niners still might win that game on defense alone because the only score Seattle scored that game was a blocked field goal for a touchdown. Seattle has evidently gotten better because they put up 13 points later on this season when we won the West. But I don't think Brock Purdy would have been ready the second week of the season if he was the backup QB.
I'm sorry, just that.
We had some questions.
That was the poster I was gonna get.
Oh, we got it. Some of you have questions on. I don't know if we have questions on. Yeah, he didn't have George Kittle, one of his safety valves. We didn't have because since George Kittle was out, he didn't come back till the third game of the year, week 3.
Got that one.
Christian McCaffrey wasn't on the team yet. I don't believe Deebo Samuel, though he was playing with 100% with his hamstring still, because that was been bothering him like all preseason long. It's bothering him now. I mean, he's going to be back this weekend, thank goodness. But he basically, was playing with, the scout team. I mean, yeah, everybody loves Brock Purdy. They say, oh, we knew it since OTAs, since the preseason. Well, that's good, but you also had 13 weeks to prepare by playing against the number 1 defense and all these, scout teams and everything that you're doing for, because that's what the backup quarterback is. You run the scout team, or the third string quarterback runs the scout team. I mean, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo's running the scout team. I don't know why. He needs to get in football shape, but it didn't sound like he was running the scout team. It sounds like it's been Brock Purdy been doing that since he got there. But I don't think Brock Purdy would have been ready. That's why I say, that's why I think Jimmy Garoppolo's restructured deal is actually a blessing in disguise, a real blessing in disguise. Because if we don't restructure his deal and we just let him go, Brock Purdy comes in. Brock Purdy, everybody forgets, was the number 2 quarterback after cuts and everything, even during preseason. They cut Nate Sudfeld. We still had to work out Jimmy's deal. They still cut Nate Sudfeld. I mean, we didn't have a third quarterback. But until we reworked that deal with Jimmy, and yeah, it's fun to do these what ifs because we know it's happening right now. But for me, it's fun to do what ifs because we're looking back at the beginning to see what if this did happen. There's a lot of what ifs because like I said, George Kittle didn't play that game. We didn't have Christian McCaffrey. I still don't think Debo's 100%. Even though he's coming back this week, and I think that hamstring is still giving him problems. We proved that we don't need him to win. Maybe we should rest him until our playoff game. We had Ray McLeod run for that big touchdown, which is funny because Brock Purdy put him at the 1. Well, they put him at the 1 in Seattle. He got the first down. Then they went through after they got the first down, third down, they went 3 and out. Against Washington, got the first down. Then, hey, we keep on hearing how fast. Was it Danny Gray or no? It was Ray Ray. Wasn't Ray Ray that ran the 79-yard touchdown? I think it was. But yeah, and then George Kittle intercepted the ball from him in the end zone, just because George saw, he was thinking, oh, this is wide open. I'm going to take that part of the field, even though that wasn't his route. But Ray was cool about it. But just think about it for a minute. Would we, like I said, we probably get away with a win against Seattle because of our defense. But I think Brock Purdy struggles every now and again against some teams because, like I said, George Kittle didn't come back till week 3. Didn't have Christian McCaffrey. Like I said, I still don't think Debo's 100% with that hamstring. Maybe with a couple weeks off of the ankle thing, that might have helped. But I think if we don't rework the deal with Jimmy G, I don't think we're in the position we are now. We are not winning 8 straight games in a row because that was helped with Jimmy G. I think we're struggling to get that final wild card spot, in my opinion. If it was just Trey Lance then Brock Purdy, and I don't know if we try to put in a waiver for Baker Mayfield or if we re-sign Josh Johnson. I don't know if Nate Sudfeld got signed, what week he got signed to a practice squad.
Dad.
Maybe we sent him away from different practice squad because he's with us in training camp and preseason. I mean, like I said, it's a what if. It's, we know that didn't happen, but it's like I said, it's fun for me to talk about what ifs because cat.
Oh, yeah.
Because it didn't happen.
There's one
And it's
playoff
fine.
spot left in the AFC.
Yeah, I know. No, 2.
1.
2.
Chargers clinch.
2.
How?
We don't know who's going to win the AFC South, and the number 7 seed hasn't been decided.
What do you mean?
2. Okay, the
Well,
Jaguars. See, this is why I need to talk with my son. If my son wants to come here and talk about this, we could talk about brackets right now.
I thought we were doing that in another video.
We could talk about it right now if you want to. I'll wait for you.
Right.
I mean, go get a chair. We'll pull up. We'll talk about it.
Playoffs.
Or you can talk about it off camera because they can hear you.
Brackets.
I can pause this for you if you want me to. I will. You can bring up chair up here and talk about this.
2022. No, my hair's really greasy and I need to.
Then put a hat on. I think he's gonna get a hat. So I'm waiting for that. While he's getting the hat on, and don't forget to grab a chair. And while he's pulling up some chair, leave me a comment in the comment section below. What do you just what if? I know it didn't happen. I'm probably sure a lot of you don't like these videos, but you know what? For the sake of this video, just just go along, just pretend with me here for a minute, okay? What if we didn't restructure that deal with Jimmy Garoppolo? Do you think Brock Purdy at that time, the second week of the season, do you think he would come in and be as good as he is now?
Chairs are overrated.
Okay, you guys stand up and talk playoffs? Or
Yeah.
Playoffs? You're talking playoffs? Are you giving me playoffs? How you gonna? You're not gonna like it. I mean, I would tell you can sit on the win this deal.
There's 2.
I told you.
But who will make it? Jaguars, Dolphins,
Well, the Jaguars aren't getting as a
Patriots?
wild card.
Jets.
The game between the Jaguars and I think
Titans
the
and Sunday
Titans is going to be for the division. Whoever wins that game, and that game is actually this Sunday, whoever wins that game is in. Whoever wins that game is in. That doesn't matter what they do the last game of the season.
Here in the hunt, the Jaguars and Dolphins are in the hunt. On the bubble, the Patriots, Jets, Titans, Steelers, Raiders. And
Raiders
yes,
need a
the
lot of
Raiders can
help. The
still-
Raiders have to beat the 49ers this week, the Chiefs
And the
next
Chiefs.
week. Hope the Chargers
Or-
lose their last 2 games.
No, they can just make it if the Chargers lose their last 2 games.
No, because they need something else to happen. Because I think they need the Jets to beat the Patriots or the Patriots to beat the Jets. Oh, no, there's
that's
a lot.
not. No, I showed you the TikTok. The Chargers just lose the last 2 games.
No, it was more than that.
No, it said either or. It said or.
No, it's
I have the same guy pulled up right now.
because Peyton, if the Jets and the Patriots go 1-1 down the stretch,
Here is
guess
the
what?
only scenario that is possible for the Raiders to make the playoffs.
If you guys can hear
First
this,
off, I worked so hard at this. I have no clue how I got this. Raiders need to beat the 49ers.
not
So
happening.
the Patriots need to beat the Dolphins.
Told you, the
Raiders
Patriots
need
still
to
need to beat the
Watch.
Dolphins, and the Ravens, yeah, not gonna happen.
Buffalo has
Then-
to beat the Patriots.
Listen.
The Jets have to beat the Dolphins. Then the Raiders need to beat the Chiefs. And there is one more scenario. If the Chargers lose 2 of their last 3 games, the Raiders make the playoffs.
But there's no way that's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
The Chargers just need to lose 2 of their last 3, and they already won 1. So they need to lose 2 straight,
That's not gonna happen.
unless they rest their starters.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. To ask them, especially the Chiefs. The Chiefs want that number 1 seed,
Which is not going to happen.
which is it could happen. The Bills
think
play
it's gonna
who?
happen.
Who the Bills play Monday night?
Bears.
You wish they played the
Okay.
Bears. They play the Bengals, who are really hot right now.
They do.
But we'll talk about more about playoffs or the NFC and the other teams that are still in a later video.
Oh, we're talking about it right now?
You want to talk about all those scenarios right now?
We're talking about it right now.
All right. Well, you want to have the ESPN app on our phone. Pull up NFL, and now you get the
I,
standings
know,
and
I
stuff.
was getting the right. I just had it up.
Okay.
Shoot. I don't.
Anyways, the Giants, guys, can make the playoffs if they just win 1 more game. That's all the Giants need to do. Their last 2 games, they just need to win 1 of them. They win 1 of those games, they are in. Now let's talk about the last seed.
NFC 1 Eagles, 2 Vikings, 3 49ers, 5 Cowboys.
4 Buccaneers.
Probably.
The Saints have to hold for a whole lot. The Saints could still win the division if the Panthers beat the Buccaneers. Of course, the Saints have to win their final 2 games. And the Saints win their final. Then I think
Panthers
the
can still
Panthers
make-
have to lose their last. I think so. The Buccaneers have to lose their last 2 games. The Panthers have to go 1-1 down the last 2 games, and New Orleans has to win out basically to win that division. The Panthers control their own destiny. They win their last 2 games, they are in because they do play the Buccaneers, and I forget who they play.
The Packers, I don't think, are going to make it.
The Packers need a lot of help in front of them because Washington's in front of them, Detroit's in front of them. Oh God, there's another one team in front of them.
It's the Vikings.
Washington, Detroit, not for the division.
Oh yeah.
No, you're looking at division. Washington's in front of them. Detroit.
Giants?
Oh no, it goes Washington. Washington's at 17. The Seattle, Detroit, then the Packers.
No,
Now
wait.
for the Packers to make it, they have to have Washington lose their final 2 games.
No, it's the
Seattle to
Giants,
lose their
Commanders,
final 2
Seahawks, and
games.
Lions.
The Lions lose their final 2 games, because and then the Packers have to win their final 2 games.
Dad, it's the Giants, Commanders, Seahawks, and Lions are in front of the Packers.
Yeah, but the Giants win 1 game, they're pretty much in.
Yeah, basically.
Which I think they could do. I think they go 1-1 down the stretch. I looked at who they had their last 2
Yeah,
games.
the
I forget how.
Saints are still in.
Yeah, but the Saints are fighting for the division. I just told you what they had to do to win to get in.
I think
a whole hell of a lot of help.
Carolina could make it.
Carolina controls their own destiny. Carolina, you win your final 2 games, you're in. If the Buccaneers beat Carolina this week and the Buccaneers win the division, they're in. There's nothing,
So playoff predictions?
Orleans can't do about it. Playoff predictions. I see Jalen Hurts coming back this game because they want to get that number 1 seed.
Confirmed.
Wrap up the division. Is it confirmed that he's going to
No,
play?
it's not. I don't think.
Okay.
Because they
But I
could lose
think-
their last 2 and they could be 11-4.
Yeah, but if they lose
Or
their
12,
last 2,
13,
guess
4.
what? And the Cowboys win their last 2
The Cowboys have the tiebreaker over us.
over the. I think no, it depends what the 49ers do. It depends what the
I
Vikings
think we
do
have
too.
it. The tiebreaker, but the
We
Vikings
will have the
don't.
tiebreaker because of conference record. But we have to win the final 2 games, which I think we can do. We play the Raiders and then we play the Cardinals.
And the Vikings have to lose one of those games.
The Vikings have to lose one of those games, like I said. If they're
The
going to
Eagles have to lose
rest,
both of them.
they could theoretically Eagles rest the Jalen Hurts because all the Eagles have to do is win their last game to get home field advantage. They don't have to win this game. So I think the Niners could get the number 2 seed, but my prediction, the teams that are out right now, I still think the Eagles get the number 1 seed.
Right?
I think somehow the Packers will find a way to beat the Vikings this week in Green Bay because the game's in Green Bay.
Oh, it
The
is.
Packers have been looking better. I think the Vikings
Love
lose
it.
that game. The Niners beat Las Vegas, take over the number 2 seed. That means if the 49ers and Vikings will still be fighting for that 2 seed last game of the season. I think both teams will win their last game of the season. So I think the 49ers will lock in at number 2 because I think the Eagles, if they're smart, should wait till the last game of the season to start Jalen Hurts because that's a division game. That way they get the number 1 because they'll be stupid playoffs. They'll have 3 losses.
Oh, here's the
They'll be
tie-breaking procedures. You want to hear?
12 and no 13-3 no 14. They'll be 14-3 because right now they're whatever and 2. They can afford to lose 1 more game. So if I could see the 49ers get number 2, the Vikings would get the number 3. I think Carolina's going to get in there, guys. I really think Carolina's going to win their last 2 games of the season to get the number 4 seed. Somehow, some crazy way, Carolina Panthers, after getting rid of Baker Mayfield, firing their head coach, trading away Christian McCaffrey, are somehow going to win the NFC South.
What about the other 2?
I think they get in there. I think the Giants can win one of those final 2 games they have. I think the Giants are going to get the 6th playoff seed. Now, the 7th playoff seed is going to get crazy.
Probably
I
the
don't
Commanders.
know about the Commanders because who they play last week? The 49ers.
Yeah, and they suck.
Teams are 1-13 now after playing the 49ers. It doesn't matter whether the 49ers win or lose. Teams after playing the 49ers, 1 win and 13 losses. That 1 win is the Chiefs, but they got lucky because they had a bye week the following week. Better than that, that's the only win the team has after playing the 49ers.
But the Chiefs has way more wins after playing the 49ers.
No, there's another team that has 7 wins in a row right now. I forget who it is. We have 8. But no, the Chiefs had a bye. No, what I'm saying is every team that's played the 49ers, every team, doesn't matter whether the 49ers have won or lost, has lost the following week after playing.
Oh.
Except for their following game. The next game after playing the 49ers. I'll say that. The next game.
Who do the Commanders play?
Except for the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs had a bye week. I believe the bye week might have saved the Chiefs because the following week they won. But after playing the 49ers, teams are 1-13 after playing the next game. The Commanders play the Browns.
Yes.
The next game. I think the Commanders can win that one. Who's their last game of the season, though? I know. This was gonna. I was gonna write this down on paper. That's why I was gonna film this later. But
last game is Cowboys, and that's to be determined too.
I think if
look, it's not confirmed a time yet.
Yeah, they haven't for the last game of the season yet.
Oh, because they're trying to see who gets the primetime games. Ooh.
I don't think the Cowboys are going to get the number 1 seed. The only thing they could do is prove their position if the Eagles lose is win the NFC East. And that actually put them at number 2 because they hold the tiebreaker with the Vikings. If the Vikings and Cowboys finish with 4 losses each because they had head-to-head. But so the best the Cowboys could do is 2. But then I don't know who Detroit plays their final 2 games. Or Seattle. I don't know who Seattle plays. I think Seattle plays, I believe they play the Rams the last game of the season, which they should win. Seattle's actually the next one.
Oh,
no, we play the Cardinals. Actually, go to Seattle
the
first.
Play the Bears and the Packers.
Maybe win. Is that Packers game at Green Bay?
Yes.
It's going to be our road. Seattle's final 2 games, because they're actually in front of the Lions.
Seattle.
But I believe the Cowboys might want to knock.
Oh, the Seattle Seahawks play the Jets and the Rams. Which the Jets are starting Mike White.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's tough. Where's the game at, though?
It's at Seattle.
It's at Seattle? Because the game's at Seattle, I think Seattle's going to get it. Detroit, that's tough. Green Bay, their last 2 games, Minnesota and Detroit. I gotta give it to Seattle. I see they could beat the Jets in Seattle.
I'm projected to lose now. What?
And
oh my gosh.
Maybe you change players on nothing. Sorry, he's looking at fantasy football. So I think you're projected to lose to me, and you still won.
True.
I think Seattle can win their last 2 games. They're playing the Jets with Mike White coming back. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I think they beat they're I'm sorry. Baker Mayfield didn't. Who the fuck the Rams just destroy?
I don't know. I
forgot too. That's why I was doing it. Oh god, they destroyed somebody. Maybe it wasn't that good of a game as everybody thought it was going to be. Oh, Denver. Denver. Come on, Denver. Those teams are going to be Denver. I'm sorry. I think Seattle wins that game too, whether it's in LA.
Oh, never mind.
And nobody showed up to that game.
Baker Mayfield plays Los Angeles. I'm not picking him up.
I'm sorry.
Position wide receiver.
I don't see the Rams winning. I'm sorry. Yeah, Baker Mayfield got lucky against the Raiders because the Raiders shot themselves in the foot with penalties.
Oh.
Then Baker Mayfield looked good against a trash team. So good that the the Broncos fired Nathaniel Hackett. It's about time. But do they go after Sean Payton, who wants to return? I don't know. So we'll talk about more playoffs. We're going to get my son's take who he thinks in and out.
What's up, guys? It's my birthday.
As for the AFC, that's a little tough. I think the Jaguars make it. The Titans are trending their own direction. The Jaguars have all the momentum in the world. They play the Titans next. I don't care where that game's at. Jacksonville just has to go 1-1. Basically, they just have to beat the Titans and they're in. That's it. That's all they got to do Sunday. Beat the Titans. You're in Jacksonville. You're in the show. And I think they could do that. As for the Dolphins, God, we got the Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, Steelers. The Steelers are somehow in it, and the Raiders. I don't think the Steelers or Raiders are going to make it. So it's going to come down. I think the Dolphins, man, they're going the wrong direction too. I think the Dolphins, I think it's going to come down to the Patriots and Dolphins, really. The Dolphins, I know if they think for the Patriots the last game of the season, the Dolphins just have to win that game, I believe, and they are in. And that's all you got to do, Dolphins. beat the Patriots. I don't think the Raiders are getting in with their crazy playoff scenario. Same thing with the Steelers. I don't know how they're still alive, but I think they have like a million things to happen. I know they have to win out, but I think the Dolphins have to lose out. The Patriots have to lose out. Whoever else is alive has to lose out. It's crazy. And of course, the Steelers have to win out, which is not going to happen. We need every other team to lose their final 2 games, which I don't see happening. I just think Miami has to go 1-1 down the stretch. They have to beat basically the Patriots. I think they can do that, even if the game is in Foxborough. But I don't know. Tua turn the ball over is not looking pretty good lately. So, like I said, I have to write down all the playoff scenarios for this to happen and go through each one. And the most likely one, maybe the Raiders, but they have to win their final 2 games against San Francisco, who still wants to that number 2 seed, and Kansas City, who wants to lock up that number 1 seed. They haven't yet. So I think the Raiders basically they're done. We're not even going to talk about the Steelers, because I think even for the Steelers to win, go to the playoffs, the Raiders have to lose their final 2 games, which is very realistic because I actually do see that happening. The Raiders aren't beating San Francisco. The Raiders aren't beating Kansas City. Raiders.
Oh, San Francisco's gonna kick the Raiders' butts.
I don't care where that game's at. I mean, that defense is just. And Bosa, man, if Bosa does not, Micah Parsons a little overrated because there's somebody in front of him. The guy Judon for New England. It should be defensive player of the year. Should be between Nick Bosa and Judon for defensive player of the year. Because those guys are just lighting up QBs and they're just destroying them. I mean, look out, Derek Carr. Bosa's coming for you. Well, guys, that's it for this video. Like I said, I'll record another one with my son and who's in, who's out, and all the other crazy playoff scenarios. So if this is your first time here and you like what you saw, hit subscribe. My daughter accidentally bumped the camera, guys. That's why it wobbled. So subscribe, like, and about the Jimmy Garoppolo thing, leave me a comment section down in the comments below. Will the 49ers still be where they are or where they aren't? Let me know. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Is this stuff?
Yes.